Welcome to the Comic Blast Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Comic Blast Podcast. My name is Grayson, one of your hosts. Along with me is my friend Keenan. What's going on, Keenan?
What's up? It's been a while.
It's been a little bit, yeah. We've been, trying to figure out the madness that is scheduling our various busy schedules, because there's 5 of us, and sometimes it's hard to even schedule just you and I, or me and Cole.
I think we're gonna get better at that in the future, though.
Yeah, you have been making moves alongside with Jess. She helped us out with kind of an organizational tool that hopefully will allow us to get episodes out a little bit more frequently. Maybe not consistently, but frequently. That's the goal. So it may be a little bit more random, but we're gonna try to get you guys episodes out on a consistent, frequent basis.
We have to do one a week.
Right, exactly.
We need to pressure us into that, really. And I have kind of gotten a little bit of pushback and pressure lately from people about that, specifically on Instagram DMs, asking where the episodes are, because it has been like 2 weeks since we recorded anything. But
I'm in class with Caleb, who's one of our patrons, which I'll jump into our Patreon at the end of the episode. But if you know, you know. But Caleb was in a lot of my classes, and today we were like building some stuff. But every time, shout out to you, Caleb. Every time I see Caleb, I'm like, oh God, I gotta put on an episode, because he is one of our like loyal patrons, and I'm just like, he has the Comic Blast sticker on the back of his laptop, and I was sitting in class the other day, and I'm like, oh, we gotta get an episode out. Like, it's not that it's not that I don't want to. Trust me, you and I have been wanting to, but it's just, man, it is a weird time in everybody's lives. But we're here, nonetheless. We're talking about a lot of MCU stuff today. Cole will be joining us later in the middle of this. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is WandaVision stuff, alongside some other stuff. We'll get into all the housekeeping stuff at the end of the episode for all you new listeners that may be joining us. And people, if you listen, you know all that stuff. So we'll save it towards the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into WandaVision stuff. There's been 4 episodes. I think we've talked about maybe the first 2, you and I, a little bit ago. And now we have 2 more episodes, and I believe the most recent one has probably been the most like well-received and the one that has developed the plot the most. Sure. So what are we thinking after these 2 newer episodes over the past 2 weeks?
I feel like we're going to be kind of on the same page with this, but episode 3 is kind of more of the same of what we got, with a little bit of like more weirdness, because that's the one with Monica, where she kind of gets kicked out of the bubble, or
she gets
whatever.
Kicked out right at the end. Yeah,
and Wanda has her twins, which is really cool to see actually happen on screen.
Was not expecting that.
No, especially with how fast that developed, but it was cool, and I think that was like the best or the most well set up tease that they've done so far, because you started to get the feel that this was actually going to go somewhere pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then we saw that actually pay off with episode 4, which I have to say, like, episode 4, the way it started off is probably my favorite beginning to anything MCU. Like the way that episode kicked off, like talking about like openings for like movies, this show, the way it kicked off was so badass. Like it bringing back, like jumping straight into Infinity War and seeing the chaos people brought back, because we didn't really get to see that side of Endgame. Like when we kind of went into Endgame, we're just seeing our heroes come back, which was epic, and it came, they came through the portals, which is great, but we didn't get to see what it was like for the rest of humanity, and how horrifying that is.
Yeah.
So
when it first happened, I was like, what is happening right now? I'm like, is this something that Wanda's doing? And then I realized, I'm like, oh no, okay, they're like they're undusting.
Yes, and people are so confused. There's so much chaos going on. So I love that, and throughout that episode, there's a ton of like more sci-fi / horror elements, which kind of surprised me because this is an MCU project, and I didn't think that they would lean into like so much horror. Now the show isn't like scary, but just some of the imagery is actually kind of frightening. Yeah, and kind of gives you like chills down your spine.
It gives me vibes of Arrival and of Annihilation. That's what the
Annihilation's a good comparison.
I mean, it's literally a bubble around this
Yeah.
area. They're like, we don't know what's inside. Like, we don't know what's going on. And I was like, okay. It feels the most MCU out of the whole, like, out of all of it. So, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I really like seeing Darcy and Randall Park's character, I believe his name is Jimmy Woo. One thing that I noticed in that 4th episode, which I thought was gold, is when he learns from Ant-Man and the Wasp the card trick. So he goes up to Monica and he's like, Agent Woo, and you're like, from Ant-Man and the Wasp, because he's the card trick.
Right.
Which is the greatest MCU movie ever. Goodbye.
I am not even going to comment on that. That's like top 2 worst MCU movies.
Oh.
But that's a debate for another day.
Okay, we're gonna have to. No, it's the running joke about how I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is the greatest MCU movie of all time.
I still haven't heard a compelling argument from your side, to semi-convince me of that movie just being mediocre.
Bro, the movie's so good.
That's the argument every time. It's just good.
Listen,
bro, just trust me, it's good.
Yeah, my source, dude, just trust me. But like back to the whole like side character thing. I loved seeing Darcy coming back. I thought like because she's like kind of aloof in the MCU. I'm like, all right, I don't know what you're up to. You're just kind of just out there, you know. And we haven't seen her since Thor 2 or something like that. Yeah, maybe she was in like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that show's not canon. Don't lie to me.
I never know.
I think it's like a really cool like ensemble of like, okay, let's get all these kind of weird characters from like these weird side characters from the MCU that you don't like really know, and you're like, that guy? Okay, cool. Can't wait till they get Peter Parker's teacher, who also appeared in The Incredible Hulk as the guy with the pizza slice. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Mr. Harrison.
No. His teacher? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, he was in Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He goes. So when Edward Norton's Bruce Banner goes to the university in like the second act of the movie, he's like sneaking in as a pizza guy. And like he's going into like the library or like the database thing or whatever. I think it's a library, and there's a guy studying on a computer, and that's the teacher from in Homecoming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He
Homecoming connection.
He looks up and he like has the pizza. It's totally unintentional. They just happen to cast the same guy, but but you're like, yeah, that's him. Like, it's pretty funny. But I digress. I loved seeing like how the transformation works whenever they like cross the threshold, and like how they kind of like make them look like they would fit into that setting.
By the way, we totally did not mention that there's spoilers because we went into some pretty heavy spoilers. But if you haven't seen it, like it's everywhere. It's on Twitter. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
even then, like we haven't even like I don't even think any of that stuff is inherently like major spoilers. I'm gonna turn down my audio levels real quick because for some reason when I tested this, I was not this loud, but now that I'm on the episode, I'm like talking way louder than normal. So
this is my voice.
God, I'm going all the way into like the reds here. Let's bump that down there. Anyway, so yeah, they like we haven't even given away like the biggest spoilers, so spoilers ahead. But like, it seems like Wanda is the bad guy. Like, Wanda is the one doing this. Like, she's the one going crazy, going evil.
I called this a couple weeks ago when I said that it was giving me House of M vibes, and it just felt like their own version of House of M. By the way, everyone, there's a ton of, like, spoilers that leaked out for the next 2 episodes. So I actually saw something that, you know, confirms a couple of my theories, I think. But yeah, it definitely has like House of M vibes. Like, yeah, Wanda has lost it because, you know, when you think about it, she really has. We haven't got a chance to like see her grieve after Vision's death. Like, Vision dies, she's dusted, and then she comes back and is thrown into a fight. Like, that's all the time she's had. So now she's kind of like been on her own within her mind, probably a little bit too much, and I feel like there's other factors in play, but that's kind of pushing Wanda to do this. But she's kind of grown to accept this as her own reality and her own sort of creation.
Right.
Which, you know, we could talk about the scene that really was creepy with Vision, I think, towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Vision's dead, like he's still dead.
Yeah.
And it feels like she's kind of controlling him as like her own puppet in a way, because I mean, he's just a lifeless corpse with that quick scene.
I don't know if she's like actually animating his corpse or just like basically like creating like this version of him that she wants to believe is true, but like like when they show that, like, she knows the truth, but she's in what someone was saying, she's in like the stages of grief where she's like in denial right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. There's something that's interesting is that I think that Vision's body or whatever is there because there was a scene in the actual episode where they went through the cast, like people that were cast, and it were actually like real people who were playing these parts within Wanda's, you know, show that she's creating basically. And Vision was one of the roles that were like cast on there, so I do think he is there. But one thing that was interesting is that they did not bring up what's her neighbor's name, Agnes.
Yeah, sure.
I think it was Agnes. So they did not bring her up as like a cast member. They brought up every other neighbor except for her. So obviously, like, people have theorized that she may be the villain, or something's going on that's weird with her. So
there's also the stuff at the end of episode 3 where they're like talking, or he's talking to like he's talking to the neighbors, like, and she's one of them, and they're like about to tell him, and then they just don't, and he's like, "We're what?" And they're like, "Well, that we're," and they just never say it, and they're like, "Well, see ya," and you're like, huh? Like,
that
what?
brings up a very interesting point, because let's say Vision is dead in this show and he's just like a corpse that she's, you know, using as a puppet. Why is it that in this bubble Vision has, you know, little spurts where he starts to question the things around him? It would lead you to believe that there is like some sort of consciousness coming from Vision, because there's multiple times throughout the episodes that he's been like, something strange is happening here, you know?
Yeah.
Unless that's just, she's just a part, or he's just a part of Wanda's kind of like subconscious.
Yeah.
That's kind of creeping in. That could be a thing, but I mean, there's no telling. This is a really trippy show.
Oh yeah, and
it's one of those ones like it's best if you kind of not try to overthink it and you just sit back and
enjoy it and
see what happens, you know?
Yep, I agree. Yeah, you know, this was like the show that I was like least excited for, and now I'm just enthralled by it now. I'm like, okay, like, because I love this sort of stuff. I love like trippy thriller horror, like that kind of stuff, kind of X-Files. Like that's kind of what this show is feeling like right now.
That's true.
Or even like a little bit like, I mean, Twilight Zone is probably the obvious comparison. Black Mirror.
Did you see the quote from Elizabeth Olsen where she said that there is a like Luke Skywalker level tease or a character that's going to appear at some point during the season?
But like, you mean like Mandalorian? Like, is that what she's referring to?
Yeah. Like, so there's like something on the level of that where a character is going to show up, which makes me think it's probably not her brother, I think.
I mean, I could see it being like Doctor Strange.
But that's not the same level as Luke coming back in The Mandalorian.
What about
Ghost Rider? Unless she just has like, about who?
What about Ghost Rider? Because the theory right now is that Mephisto is like a big part of this.
I think, I think it has to be it's just not as popular of a character. Like it's got to be one of those mind blowing things.
What if it's like an X-Men or like an X-Men?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking. But I'm like, there's the whole thing where like Evan Peters is gonna have a role at some point.
The
in
rumor
time.
is that that Evan Peters is playing Mephisto though, or like he's playing a character similar to his characters in American Horror Story.
Yeah.
What if it's Professor X?
I would love that.
I don't know how that would even make sense.
He has to save her.
Maybe.
He has to save her from herself.
What if it was Magneto?
Oh my god.
I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities
her.
there. Well, I don't think he's gonna kill her, but I think like, I don't know, Luke Skywalker. Because I'm like, when I think Luke Skywalker level, like when I'm thinking of a character, they're like, oh, if this character showed up in this show, like I'd lose my mind. It has to be a character we've never seen before that we know who it is. Like it can't it can't be like a Captain America or like a Tony Stark or a Thor, because like when that happened I'd be like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh my god.
So out of left field because nobody saw like Luke coming back. Nobody predicted that until like the moments leading up to it. So it'd have to be like something on that level. And I don't really know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens.
We have 5 more episodes left, or 4.
I think there's a total of 9.
Okay,
so
that's what I
5
think.
more.
Interesting indeed. And then after that we got Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I'm also really hyped about.
Starts a week after WandaVision ends, so
yeah, I'm hyped about that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's our thoughts on WandaVision thus far. We will try to keep updates as frequently as possible. Maybe not every episode unless something just huge happens in one episode, but maybe like every 2 episodes, kind of like what we've been doing. But Cole still isn't here. How disappointing. What do we have up next on our agenda?
Got some Black Panther stuff.
Yeah, some really spontaneous Black Panther stuff that I was not expecting at all, and I don't even really understand what this means, but Ryan Coogler is set to help is it produce or create, direct?
Yeah, he's kind of developing this series on Disney Plus. It's just going to be a Wakanda series, I think, to kind of help flesh out that world and develop, the world of Wakanda.
It's like Gotham.
It's interesting because it's it was interesting because it's not like a rumor or anything anyone else was reporting. This actually came straight from Marvel.com, and it's Ryan Coogler has his own production company, which they actually are using his production company, and apparently they signed a 5-year deal. A lot of people are speculating that means 5 potential seasons of Wakanda.
Right.
There's a lot of material there that they can explore. The world is just kind of like rich with lore, and there's a ton of characters that they can use for that series. I'm at the point where like Ryan Coogler can do no wrong and he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
And when I saw this, I was like, oh man, they're just scrapping Black Panther 2 and they're just gonna go with this now. And Marvel, on Marvel.com, they actually said that he's still writing and developing, directing the sequel to Black Panther, as well as doing this series. So he'll probably have like less to do with the series. I think he's probably just going to come on as a producer and have some other people, work on it. Should be interesting.
I am concerned because I'm like, with a Wakanda series that obviously doesn't tie to like the T'Challa or any of them, Shuri, I would love Wakanda to be like kind of like an anthology where it explores like different characters in Wakanda, and I'd maybe have about the different clans and stuff that are in Wakanda. I would really want unless they do this with Black Panther 2, which is possible because I don't know how that would work, but I'd really love to see a movie of T'Chaka as Black Panther. What
if they did that as what if they explored different time periods in Wakanda
Yeah.
history, and T'Chaka, they get the same actor that they used from
I'd love that.
the opening of Black Panther, and then they can actually kind of explore that,
Yeah.
pre MCU.
Right. You think they would do that with the Wakanda show?
I think that's the best place to put something like that.
Yeah.
Black Panther 2, I think it's going to turn into, I don't know.
I'm worried
I think
about
it's
that
going to be a
movie
Shuri
because,
show.
because I think and I don't mean this in like a selfish or like a mean way or whatever, but like, when you have a hit like Black Panther, and Chadwick Boseman was such a crucial part of that, the legacy of that movie. Like, how do you make a Black Panther 2 and move forward with that when he's gone? But like, it's kind of it's like, I feel like it's even more difficult than the whole Carrie Fisher thing, where like,
Oh, it is.
because Carrie Fisher, like, they had footage and stuff, and they kind of like, they did as much as they could, and they like, with the Rise of Skywalker, it wasn't like perfect or anything, but they got the job done.
He also wasn't the main character.
Right.
Like, she wasn't,
Imagine like that. Yeah,
the centerpiece.
exactly. And so now, like, it's a really tricky situation, and I'm like, well, if Shuri becomes the main thing, what are they doing with T'Challa? Like, because
I have no idea.
Because here's the thing, like, I feel like killing him off would be such a disrespect to the character and to Chadwick Boseman's legacy. But at the same time, like, if you keep him alive and you make him just not the Black Panther anymore, then how, like, and you just know he's in the universe out there somewhere, people are always going to be asking, like, wondering, like, well, why didn't he show up? Like, why didn't T'Challa show up? Because it's like, well, he's still alive out there. It's kind of like the whole thing with the Fast and the Furious, with Paul Walker, but even on another entirely new level. But like with that character, like, it made sense. Like, okay, yeah, he's going to start off a family. Like, T'Challa was like barely even hitting his stride, right? Like, he had just started,
He's like year one.
Yeah. So
That's tough. If I had to guess, I feel like they're gonna find a peaceful way to show that he's passed in this universe. I don't know how. I can't even, like, I'm just not creative enough to even begin to think about something like that in order to, like, do it respectfully,
right,
that honors, like, him as an actor, as a person. It's a monumental task that, I don't know how they're going to do it. And do I have faith that they're going to be able to pull it off? Yeah, because it's Kevin Feige and it's Ryan Coogler, and they always find a way to do it, But it is tough, That's a movie that should have been coming out, I think, next year, 2022. And now they have more time to figure it out. But
I know there's current rumors that, like, Michael B. Jordan will be coming back, and they may make him Black Panther. But I'm like, what?
He was quoted as saying he would love to come back. Something like that. Of course, I would love to come back.
I still think it was a huge misstep to kill him off.
Marvel has a reputation of killing off villains right away. Other than Loki, they tend to be like one and done with villains, which I just find very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the only, like, villains that they didn't kill off Abomination. They didn't kill off Vulture. They didn't kill off.
They killed off that movie.
They didn't kill off Zemo. They didn't kill off Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh dear God!
The best movie ever.
That's the one I give them permission to do.
I liked her character enough. I don't know, like, I just think, I don't know, but they're gonna have, like, if he comes back, they're gonna have to bring him back to life, and it's like,
I mean, this is a superhero world we live in, so
yeah,
they always find a way to.
I wish T'Challa, like, what would have happened?
It'd be cool, like,
if he just, like,
it'd be a cool redemption arc
himself.
though for Eric.
Oh, I agree, but I just don't know how they'd bring him back, like without it just being like you just roll your eyes, like, unless he like he stabbed himself, and then T'Challa just took his body, and he's like, "You do not die."
It confirms our worst fears. Palpatine has returned. Is that level of like cringe?
I do not. But like, if he comes back, I don't want him to be a villain. Like, I want him to be like a Loki character who's like, but like really redeemed, you know, or even like a Bucky.
No, I would be fine with him like taking over the role as Black Panther. I don't know. I like at the same time, like I feel like if you got a chance to ask Chadwick, who deserves that opportunity and spotlight, he would definitely say like Letitia Wright should be Black Panther as Shuri. Like that's the answer I feel like he would give, but
yeah,
who knows? Maybe like Black Panther 2 is literally just called like Wakanda Forever or something like that, and it's just this like squad with like Okoye and Shuri and what the heck is his girlfriend's name? Nadia.
Yeah, something like that. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I can do that.
Or yeah, what is her name? Is it? I thought it was like Nakia or I don't know. No.
Oh yeah, you're right. Nadia. What is Nadia? Is that from Lion King?
No.
Nala.
Yeah, that's Nala. Hold on. Am I?
No, I don't know.
Am I right? Am I wrong? Hold on. Now I need to know. We're just talking
No,
about Black
it is
Panther
Nakia.
stuff. It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's Nakia.
Yeah, it's played by
Good job.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o. Yeah. By the way, random thing, like, you know, when Black Panther first came out, I thought it was like a good movie, but it wasn't my favorite at all. Now I freaking love Black Panther. I love that movie. Like the only thing that bothers me is like the third act is kind of like the CG and everything bothers me and really takes me out of it. But there are a lot of cameos in this movie that I did not realize.
I agree 100% with the CG thing, but like I don't think it falls on Ryan Coogler so much. It's just one of, like, if you heard the rumors, the movie came out in February and they were like starting CG in December. So
they better bring Wakabe back. Daniel Kaluuya's character.
Yeah,
I like him.
Just like,
and M'Baku.
like,
M'Baku is the GOAT.
Yeah.
100%. Maybe in that Wakanda series though, like, yeah, they explore like the relationship between T'Chaka and N'Jobu, and even like Zuri, is that his name? Who was played by Forrest Whitaker. Like that kind of I really want to see like Black Panther, but like in the Cold War era.
Dude,
like,
think about this: if they bring back T'Chaka, they have an opportunity to also bring back Andy Serkis, because there's some history there.
Yes, I need that. I need that. See, I've always said this. T'Chaka is my favorite Black Panther. Like, I love T'Challa, but as a kid, I like T'Chaka way better because I remember there was the Ultimate Avengers animated movie and Black Panther was in the second one. Yeah. And Claw kills T'Chaka, and that's how T'Challa becomes like the Black Panther. But T'Chaka was so much cooler. Like, T'Chaka literally like was like super buff and like had way cooler gadgets and was way more skilled. Like, I would love to see that. And man, if you brought back a younger Claw, like pre-Age of Ultron, like Claw, Andy Serkis's Claw is phenomenal. Like, he's so good, and he gets like overshadowed by Killmonger, who's great. But like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, Claw is such a like potent villain, and then they kill him off too. Ugh, God,
he was the coolest.
Yeah, I just thought it added such a cool dynamic. Like, also he was South African, and South African people are dope.
Yeah, we're gonna start this whole trend where we want T'Chaka to be in the Wakanda series, because there's so much history to
and you could tie it in with so many different, like, I mean, you think about it, like Ant-Man, like, man, imagine if he like somehow like ended up getting integrated with, like, what if he fought the Winter Soldier? What if like in the 80s? Like, that would be sick. Or what if he bumped into Hank Pym as Ant-Man? Or even like Howard Stark or something. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the MCU going on in like the 70s and 80s. Clearly we even see that in Endgame. Yeah. With like, you know, Peggy Carter could show up. Like, I'm like, SHIELD knows about Wakanda.
For
We see
sure.
that in Iron Man 2 that literally says
Yeah.
Wakanda on the map. That's how far back they had been planting that. So, there's a lot of possibilities. But yeah, Keenan and I, we want T'Chaka, and we want Claw back, Andy Serkis.
For sure.
Make it happen. Anyway, I think we've dwelled on that topic long enough, but like, I like talking about this
Also,
stuff.
like, side note, this is completely random. I want Denzel Washington in the next Black Panther movie.
Dude, yes. Hey, it's Cole.
I don't know for what role, but I want it.
Yeah, no, dude, Denzel. Oh, go ahead, Cole. Do your bit.
Speak of the devil, and he shot a beer. I was like, I really hope that I say that at the right time if they actually talk about me. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna commit to this anyway.
Dude, Denzel would be sick. I'd love John David Washington
Yeah,
as well.
father and son.
He honestly would. He like Don Javid.
He could actually play. He could play a younger version of T'Chaka,
Like an even younger version.
even younger.
I'd be down with that.
Now you
Oh.
kind of like ruin the possibility of like you kind of ruin the whole Claw thing because at that point in time it's like you're going way back.
Claw
But-
is kind of old though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
1990. Yeah, it's about 20-year swing. I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah, they won't recast T'Challa though, because I thought like John David Washington would be a really good T'Challa had Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
not been T'Challa, but that was before John David like kind of got big. So I digress. Cole, you joining at the perfect time. Say what's going on, buddy.
Not too much. I just got home, which is a lot later than I thought it would be. But yeah, everything's all right, and I am here now. Hopefully, after talking about WandaVision? Question mark.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have done that.
Fantastic.
Also, random thing. Maybe we'll clip this. Maybe I can send this to Keenan and he can put it on social media. Keenan and I are twinning. Keenan, like you can put up. He got this.
What?
This. We both have the same beer. Although he had an iced coffee blonde, but we had the same beer. And
well, now it's mango.
So we do have the same beer now.
We're on to
And
the
then-
second one.
And then
Yeah.
also I put on a hat because he's like, you should put on a hat, but I put it on forwards because I was like, we're alternate skins of one another. We both have Clemson sweatshirts but different colors, the same beer and the hat, but I've got glasses. But yeah.
I do not have a Clemson sweatshirt for obvious reasons.
'Cause you don't live
I
here.
am not someone that has been known to wear hats. But if I do start wearing hats, I'll let you know. And yeah, you know what? How about we?
Comic
what
Blast
is it
hats?
called when? Yo, Comic Blast beanies? Question mark. Okay,
Listen.
I see you.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see.
Comic Blast flip flops. Dude,
Comic
Comic
Blast
Blast Speedo.
Comic
Nice.
Blast Beanie Baby.
Fanny packs.
Comic Blast snowshoes. Comic Blast
Underwear.
Yes. And the comic is on the back and Blast is on the front.
Or the other way around.
I don't think that's the place you want to put blast.
Well,
I don't think either
Where-
side is the place you want to put blast.
I'm just thinking, marketing wise, it's like, never mind. New
All
topic.
right.
Yeah,
if
let's
we,
move
If
on.
we do it, we got to put. Grayson has to do the model pictures for the website.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
And-
it's the only way we can pull it off.
Yeah,
I'll ask my girlfriend if she's okay with that.
I was about to say his girlfriend
She'll be
would
fine.
not be happy with that. I mean, to be
She'll be
quite
okay
frank,
with
I
it.
wouldn't be. I just go on our website. There's Grayson on the front page, just wearing a Comic Blast underwear and nothing else.
My nana the other day said I should be an underwear model
Why?
because I was talking
Why?
because I were talking about how nice my ass was.
Why?
Because that's how my girlfriend was interested. I shouldn't be exposing her like that.
Very-
Harley, I love you. She's not listening to this.
That's
Oh, bless.
I digress. Let's move on to the next topic. Tom Holland Instagram post.
Yeah.
So context. So Tom Holland posted a photo. Was it his brother that was on his shoulders?
Yeah. Harry Holland, I believe his name is.
So did he say something along the lines? He said it was like the highlight of his career or something like that.
One of the biggest highlights of his career, and you're like,
so
Tobey Maguire.
you're thinking like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire is like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're gonna be in this movie, right? Is there any doubt anymore in people's minds that they're gonna be in this movie?
I mean,
There was an interview with like Zendaya not even that long ago where they mentioned something along the lines, and she like kind of just smiled right away, and then just kind of like didn't answer.
It's gotta it. Like, we keep on like bringing it back up because it hasn't been confirmed, but like, dude, it's happening. Like, it has to.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, so did you see the tweet that was like trending yesterday with this what was it, DoorDash delivery guy?
No.
Okay, so this DoorDash delivery guy, not honestly, this dude is not plugged in with like comic books or like anything like that. But he tweeted something along the lines like, just delivered food to that dude who played Spider-Man in 2014. And he said that dude was rude as F. And then he just put like the laughing emoji. And then like somebody looked at his like tweet location, and the tweet was in Atlanta, Georgia, where obviously they're shooting the film.
What?
So, yeah, so somebody got a hold of that, and it was like trending #1 yesterday on Twitter.
Dude was rude as... What?
You talking
Yeah.
about Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
Well, he just delivers Andrew the pizza, and Andrew's just like F you, bro.
So
Just says that.
with a British accent.
Yeah.
F off, mate. I'm gonna eat my pizza.
Go on then, F off. Come on,
But,
man.
like,
But then you hear Tobey Maguire in the background going like, pizza time.
Yeah. He's just standing in the back in the hallway.
In his comic glass
go
underwear.
to bed. It's bedtime, Peter.
No,
Pizza time.
like he was probably standoffish because I don't think he wants anybody to really know that he's there. I don't know. Like,
Why would you order from DoorDash? Oh, well, I guess if you didn't want to get exposed.
yeah, I don't know. Like, if I had to guess, like, what's more of a chance to happen for you? Do you think it's both of them appear, or Toby appears, or just Andrew appears? Like, what's the
Probably-
better chance of happening?
Probably both is the highest chance. But if I had
I
to
would
choose a
put-
second, I'd say just Toby.
Yeah, I would probably put my money on Toby.
Yeah, so I would say like the highest chance is that if there's one of them, the other one's probably there. But if I had to like say one over the other would be there, it would probably be Toby, just because like not only did his trilogy finish, but almost everybody knows about that version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of like pitching this thing recently, where they show the advanced suit Spider-Man makes a swing at some point in time, and Yuri's voicing him. They don't have to like take off the mask or anything, but it'd be pretty freaking cool if they were able to pull that off.
I feel like if they did that in anything, it'd be in Spider-Verse 2.
My thoughts exactly.
I don't want that, obviously.
You don't want
for
that?
obvious reasons. I mean, yeah, I want that, but I'd rather see that in live action.
I would rather see it in animated form, because I feel like it would be weirder in live action, because it would just be straight up CG PS4 Spidey without taking his mask off. You're just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean, we kind of
Well,
keep
why
that
does it have
Spider-Man.
to? Yeah.
We kind of keep that Spider-Man to the medium that he was in before. It's not like it's a game, but it would be better if it were in an animated movie, because obviously voice acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See,
I would love if in the Spider-Verse 2 that they're doing, for them to bring back like the best versions of animated Spidey. Not like I thought the live actions would be cool too. So maybe after this, like there's a chance that Andrew and Toby do some voiceover as well and they come in. But I'd really want to see 90s
Drake
Spider-Man.
Bell.
I mean,
Drake
well,
Bell is Spider-Man.
Drake Bell is off doing like I don't know what he's doing. He's a Spanish rocker now. You know that?
I mean,
yeah, you know he played in Greenville not too long ago.
Did he really?
Yeah.
His name is like, hold on, Drake Bell. He's like he does like Spanish music now.
we need to.
Drake Campana. That is his name. Like that is what he goes by now.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah,
in
I'm sorry.
in Spider-Verse 2, I need to get that animated black suit Spider-Man where he's just yelling bloody murder at Shocker.
That's the 90s
Shocker!
Spider-Man. He's just like,
Yes,
come back, you Shocker!
I will chase you to the ends of the earth,
Yeah.
Shocker! I need that.
My favorite thing is when he's fighting Rhino at that church and he picks up Rhino and puts his horn in the ground and then just spins him around. And Rhino's
I
like,
don't remember any of this. Was
Yeah.
this on the
that was in the
animated
90s.
series?
The 90s, yeah. I also hope they bring back the Josh Keaton Spectacular Spider-Man.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the video, like the whole Shocker thing when Spider-Man's screaming at him, like that's become a little bit of a meme. And in that specific YouTube video where that's clipped, one of the top comments says, "I love how Spider-Man is just intensely screaming this at Shocker, who is at best a D-lister."
Yeah, it's true. Now at this point, it's like Tom Holland basically just like, unless he's just completely
He's dying to like yell.
Oh
and
yeah.
tell the truth.
When are
He
we
has
gonna get
he
like
has an interview.
a trailer or something?
I don't know.
When does this movie
He
come
just
out
got
now? I don't
something.
even remember.
It's December of this year.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's going to be like set during Christmas, apparently. I don't know if it's going to be set during Christmas or if
It
it's just
looks
going to
like
have like
it's-
the ending is going to be like in Christmas. But, what did you ask before?
I
I had a point to make.
Talking about Josh Keaton Spider-Man?
Yeah, no.
I mean the PS4 like
Nah.
in live action. No.
Forget it. That's probably stupid.
Okay.
Comic Blast underwear?
Listen, I really just don't remember.
You guys didn't even hear my comment where I was like, Tobey Maguire sitting in the background wearing Comic Blast underwear.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, that did not cross my ears. What?
We
You
are
guys were-
working
we were-
our next guest, Tobey Maguire, wearing only Comic Blast underwear. Say hi, Toby. It's time. Well, that wasn't hi,
No, he
Toby,
says-
but you did your best.
No, he goes, oh boy, yeah.
The sound waves, they propagate.
Like how are those movies like the greatest movies ever and also the worst movies ever in terms of just like cheese?
Dude, if
Also-
those movies came out today, they would be just razed to the ground.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. See you, chump! Ah!
It's so bad.
How do you like that, Spidey?
It's so bad.
I'll never forget like James Franco clapping at that when we recorded that part where he's like,
Okay, yeah, I don't know if we've ever mentioned this before, but in the moment when Doc Ock, like his what is it? Like the experiment at the beginning of the movie is going successful. He's got like this little showcase for Harry and everybody. There's a
Yeah.
moment when Harry claps, like he's just clapping in appreciation, admiration, whoever, whatever. As he's clapping, just watch his face because he just looks more and more confused the more that he's clapping. That's your homework
Yeah.
for tonight.
and he's
or
not
today,
clapping like a normal
everybody.
person. He's not going like, he's going like.
He looks so confused. It looks like he immediately suffered dementia, like in that moment.
And his
He
face
didn't
is
know
like-
why he was there. Yeah. That's your homework. Go find that.
Yep, go watch that right now. All right, Thor 4 pictures.
They exist. Look at them.
They're a thing.
Great.
No, dude.
Thor's
Thor's
looking really cool.
Thor's
I don't
looking
know
like
why.
a dad from the 80s.
Yeah, just like Thor is now a member of Pink Floyd, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like Aerosmith or something.
Yeah.
So he's got the blue jeans with the tank top, and then his other outfit is like the leather vest with like the blue pants, and he's standing next to Star-Lord, which by now we know that all the Guardians are in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
Are all of them in the movie?
we saw Kraglin, we saw Nebula, and then we saw Star-Lord.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine that's like all of them are going to be there. I'm sure like Drax will be there, and Rocket, and
I'm like
Vin Diesel.
interested
Man,
to see
my
like
favorite Guardian.
in what like what size their role is going to be in the film.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be just pretty early on, I'd hope,
I agree.
because
like-
there's a pretty compelling storyline that I hope gets a lot of shine with Jane Foster. I think like that whole thing needs to play out.
I forgot she's
And-
coming back like entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, not only coming back, but she's like going to take on the mantle of Thor at some point in time. So, which is pretty insane because, like, I mean, we all love Natalie Portman here, obviously, mostly because of Star Wars, but she's also like a really great actress. And we thought that like Jane Foster was just gonna be this. She went from being like a side character to being a no-show. Like we're like, they just wrote her out like of the MCU.
Yeah, she was just
And now
gone.
she's coming back to be a very prominent character, probably in the future of the MCU. So that, when you really sit back and think about that, that kind of blows my mind that we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
So is it true that the MCU is planning for her to take up the mantle? Is that already confirmed?
I don't think she's going to take over. She's just going to be like, she's going to have the power to like wield Mjolnir, or like the power of Thor, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much confirmed. Like she said, she's been training for it and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Okay.
there's also the image of her like holding the hammer at Comic-Con.
Yeah, man, those are good times. That was like July of the year before last.
Was it that long ago?
When they announced all that stuff, it was like August, maybe July or August of like that, because there wasn't Comic-Con.
Are you telling me that they announced Blade a year and a half ago?
Let's
Dang,
see.
man.
No, that was
No,
recent.
no,
That was
it
over
wa-
the summer.
It definitely wasn't a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was over the summer.
No, it was July of 2019.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali was announced as the Black Panther.
The Black Panther. What are you talking about?
No, wait.
What?
I don't know why I said that, but I thought it
You're
was
literally
so funny.
reading it.
I'm reading it and I
You have the
saw,
article pulled up.
I saw Blade and I'm like, Black Panther. Yeah. Yeah, no, this was
You had the
announced.
accent to go along with it. Oh my god.
The power of the Black Panther will be stripped away.
All right, Grayson. Now, what does BLADE spell? It spells blade. Okay, so what is Mahershala Ali casted as? Black Panther.
Black Panther.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it has been a year and a half. Like
Yeah.
That's dumb. Where did we go? What happened?
last
happened?
year was something else.
It's a
man.
blur. It's a gap year.
How is it, dude? How was it July? Like, God, 7 months ago?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's still
Insane.
no MCU movie. to show for it.
Insanity, man. Yeah, no MCU movies. Black Widow is supposed to come out in 3 months. Will it have been a year ago?
That
Uh,
honestly
really
feels
was-
like it's never
it-
happening.
in a month and like maybe a week or two, like we'll have been in the age of COVID for like a year. It's crazy, man.
Moment of silence.
Feels bad.
But yeah, no, I love the new look for Thor. I'm like, and I am real with it. I think it looks sick. I don't know why I love the vibe that they're going for this movie, and
I know. I can't wait to actually see it on the screen in 2025.
I was about to say
I didn't,
2027.
I didn't notice when I saw the pictures. Does he still have like the beer belly, or did he shape up?
No, it doesn't look like it.
He's back in shape again. So I guess-
Honestly, it looks like Chris Pratt's in a little bit better shape than he was in the Avenger movies.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because they made the joke in the Avengers movie, so Chris Pratt was like, you know what?
They train
Fine,
together.
I'm gonna commit.
Yeah.
I want them to work like show like a quick montage of them like working out together, like like
To
just
80s
like
music.
just downing protein shakes and like eating salads and stuff. Like
I mean, like, yeah. Star-Lord really has no competition.
it's true, dude. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, like, nobody can see this podcast, but, like, Cole never fails to, like... it's like
Fails to
one day
what?
he just pulls out this giant, like, gallon of water in the middle of the episode, and he's just been munching on strawberries for the past 5 minutes. Like, it's just
Bro,
the
leave
most
me-
casual
leave me
and, like,
alone.
normal thing.
I was thinking the same thing, Keenan. I'm like, I'm not gonna say
I was literally
anything.
just waiting for that gallon of water to come up.
Dude, strawberries are the best. Okay.
Wasn't
And,
it-
and you know
I
what?
have nothing against
Was
them.
it a gallon of water, or was it like an entire bottle of orange juice, or was that two
It was-
separate times?
It was tea.
It was a gallon of Arizona green tea
Okay.
diet.
Was
And
it?
he just leaned down and picked it up, and he tried to do it so quick too. Like nobody, like hopefully nobody sees it.
Well, see, when I pulled out the strawberries, I was like, you know what? I hope they don't notice. And then Keenan started
Well,
off
he's
by
eating
saying,
a little bit low to the screen too.
It was
should
just like I just want to point out. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I just want to make a montage of Cole like randomly eating and drinking stuff in the podcast.
Yeah, he's just like pulling out like ramen noodles.
Raymond.
What? What did you
Everybody
call
loves
them?
Raymond.
Ramen.
Yeah, ramen noodles. Raymond noodles?
It's the same thing.
No.
Rayman Legends.
I was about to say Rayman, the freaking
that a
video.
game?
Yeah, it's a video game. How long have we been recording this episode, man?
I don't know. We're at that point where
Well,
we're starting.
I hope you're happy. I finished the strawberries. Okay. I hope you feel better.
In the taste?
No.
Strawberries.
Oh no. Okay, but listen, strawberries are the best. All right. They are my favorite fruit. It's like candy, but it's fruit and not candy. You're welcome.
See, listen, but apples and blueberries and blackberries and bananas,
You literally just listed all the worst fruits.
mango.
Okay, you're good there.
Those are not the worst fruits. What are you talking about?
Those other ones you listed were just awful.
This is turning into
My
an
two-
Afterblast episode real quick.
my my two favorite fruits are strawberries and pears. I love
the title of this
Pears are
episode is gonna
bomb.
be the title of this episode is gonna be ranking our favorite fruits.
the title is Grayson and Keenan try to carry out a decent Comic Blast episode, and then Cole shows up and starts eating strawberries.
Yeah.
That sounds like an out of context video on YouTube that you'd find. Like,
So we got housekeeping stuff.
yes. So
Can we announce the thing?
yeah, you do the honors. It's your baby, so you
It's
know.
all of ours.
Well,
We talked about this for like a long time, how we needed kind of like our own domain name at some point in time, so that way people don't steal it from us. So we actually have a website, and you can go there to read articles. You can listen to the podcast from there. Check out YouTube videos. All of anything Comic Blast can be found there. So it's pretty neat. We got a couple people that are going to be doing weekly articles for us in terms of gaming, TV, comics, movie-related news, things like that. You can check out on the website. And just want to say, if you are a writer who can do more like opinionated pieces and you're interested in writing for Comic Blast as kind of like a freelancer, we'll be looking for people that can produce content. So you can email us at the email address linked down below, or you can just email us at comicblastnetwork@gmail.com. But otherwise, you can check out the links in the description, and you can check out the website. It'll be cool. Also, there's a video on there of Cole's intro for the podcast, which you've probably already listened to.
Yeah.
Opening, and it's really great. You nailed it.
Bro, what was that face? He went like, yeah.
I'm just gonna give some quick appreciation. Keenan, you did a fantastic job on that website. That is really well done.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, comicblast.net. Plug. Thank you.
Comicblast.net. That's a bomb.
No, that's the blast.
You know what, guys? Exactly. You know what, guys? I'm proud of us. Oh.
Listen, everybody
It's
here except me and Josh has been killing it lately. I'm proud of all you guys. The only thing I'm going to do is edit this episode after. It's going to be great. But also, don't you have something to announce? Possibly
don't think
soon? Oh, no? Okay. Too soon?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe there is, but I just can't remember it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to mention it because I feel like
I'm pregnant.
I feel like I don't want to like ruin it, but like we were talking about.
No, it's okay. Ruin it.
Well, I think we're rebranding our merch soon, right? Or not rebrand.
Yeah.
And so we're switching over to Redbubble, and we're gonna have some actual Comic Blast stuff on there soon, right?
It's gonna be better. Because for whatever reason, the quality just wasn't up to par for Teespring, in our opinion.
Oh, it was Teespring. Okay.
Yeah, it was Teespring before. Now we're using Redbubble. The process is just so much easier.
Redbubble was
prices
awesome.
are going to be better. Yeah, prices will be better. There's more options for different things in terms of Comic Blast merch. But we want to make sure that we get this right. Before we launch it, but you can it's actually has its own page on our website where you can shop, and that will probably be on there at some point in time next week.
Sweet. Comic Blast underwear. I'm kidding, but maybe. Am I ready to jump into all the housekeeping stuff before we wrap up the episode?
Do it.
All right, let's do this one last time. My name is Peter B. Parker. I got fat, I ate pizza, and then I died. Remember that?
I do remember that.
It was great.
All right, so first and foremost, you can follow all of us. Well, you can follow Comic Blast at comicblast_ on Twitter and Instagram to keep up with news and updates and all of that stuff. You can follow me at Straights8. You can follow Cole at And the Force Is With Me on Instagram and at The Cosmic Lotus on Twitter. You can follow Keenan at Keenan Creates on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow our other peeps at Female and Fatal and or that's on Instagram, that's Jess, and you can follow Josh at Josh Johnson with 2 N's 98 on Twitter and Instagram. Him and I also do a podcast called the Rising Action Podcast, where you can find that wherever you're listening to this as well. We talk about all kinds of movies and storytelling stuff. You can also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/comicblast. We have a whole list of patrons. Jess was our first, as she is our sponsor and also a co-host, and she's just awesome. We love her. But we also have our other patrons. We've got Joseph, Caleb, Diego, Jacob, Jake, and Sam. Thank you all for being our loyal patrons. You too can become a new patron by going to patreon.com/comicblast. You get access to our exclusive Discord and a whole other slew of stuff depending on which tier you choose. And also, we would really like you to help support us because it's been getting real hard lately in the time period to do this. So if you help keep us accountable, we will get out more content for you guys because this is also our passion and we love you all. I think that's going to do it for all of the housekeeping stuff. Guys, did I leave anything out?
No, you're good.
Keenan's dead.
I don't know if you noticed, but I just beat the hell out of Keenan while you're doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well,
Say bye, Keenan.
Bye, Keenan.
leaving.
You might be saying yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for being patient with us as we try to get out new episodes. We're going to try to get on a more frequent schedule, like I said. Maybe not consistent, but at least frequent. I, again, am Grayson. I love doing this. We got Keenan. We got Cole. We're living life. We're doing... Get out of here. Goodbye.
Okay.
Shazam.